Straight out the boot room, to Wembley, our second home. We come to conquer, no, we never walk alone. We dominate, the cream of the crop, drawing all our strength from the roar of the cock. It's all for one, and one for all. Pass the moon, we're talking total football. Here we go again, Roy's red machine. Liverpool, the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. It's been a little while since it's been us two. Been a bit nothing to talk about really, hasn't it, with there being no footy on. It's horrible, but thought we'd give you a little update and just have a little chat. So, how are we?
Not too bad, lad. Been enjoying the Euros, which is not very common for me. I don't really take an interest in it, but it's been a few good games, hasn't it? So I've tried to put into my schedule to watch one game a day, which hasn't fucking worked. It's been too busy. But yeah, it's been nice seeing some footy with no pressure on the telly.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think what's been mad about it is like the games that people haven't really been looking forward to have ended up being some of the better games.
Yeah, big games have been tight, but the little ones were unexpected results and performances have just been boss. Romania, go on.
Well, I've got Slovenia in the sweepstake and work, so I've been supporting them, and I'm absolutely shocked they've got through to the next round. To be honest, I thought they were finishing rock bottom of the group. I had no chance, and then I think they've got Portugal in the next round. So the fact Georgia beat Portugal gives me a little bit of hope. So
I've got Portugal in the sweep.
Have you?
Holland. So.
I mean, you've got two big nations, but you look at last night. One big nation went out. Another one, you could argue, was a bit lucky to go through in Germany. So it's been good. It's just been at the start of the tournament. Before it, I thought you were looking at your France, your Germany's, and you were thinking there was pretty much one or two dead sets to win it. And I think the way it's gone, it's not anymore. It's nowhere near like that. I think there's a dark horse in there somewhere, and I'm not sure who it is.
Well, I said that after the first few fixtures, I said someone's going to win it that not expected. It's going to be an outsider, and it'd be brilliant for football if it was.
Yeah,
all the money that's involved with superstar players, the likes of Mbappe's and that playing for France, and so I don't feel like they turn up on the big stage in the Euros and that. Be great to see like a smaller country more more passionate about the countries and stuff. When you see the likes of Switzerland's and that proper going for it, like you just made up. So,
well, I think right now they're the ones, if I'm being honest.
They're the ones I fancy.
And, you look at it, they brilliant last night against Italy, by far the better team. But you look at it, say they do go on and win it. Granit Xhaka should be in with a shout at the Ballon d'Or, like Bundesliga winner, DFB Pokal winner, Europa League finalist, and then potential Euros winner. Like, who's had a better season than that, realistically? There's not many.
You know what? It does me head with the Ballon d'Or because it is based on what your team's done in it. You could be the best player, you could score the most goals in the most competitions, but your team win nothing. But that's what it's about. It's about being part of a team that's successful. So yeah, it won't happen because there's obviously he's not even in the top 50 players in the world. But
no.
I think when you talk about as the Ballon d'Or is voted and who's won what, he should be really. As mad as that. Exactly.
Who'd have thought? I mean, it's been that for the past sort of 10, 15 years now, but leaving Arsenal has been the best thing for him again.
But if Mo Salah can't win one, then if Xhaka wins one, mate, I will.
That's just going to be the way, innit? I reckon they'll just do it out of spite, just like I know we should have given it to Salah a couple of years ago, but just to rub salt in the wound a bit more. Here you go, Xhaka. Here's one.
Yeah, exactly.
But now it's been a boss tournament, and yeah, as I say, you mentioned there Romania. I think have looked really surprisingly good. They
just play they play like school kids, just dead innocent and dead free flowing. But there's very little pressure on them. They just go for it, and it's boss to watch when you see teams like it's not over tactical. It's just fucking get the ball and go towards their goal as many times as possible, and hopefully the ball goes in the net. And that's the beauty of the Euros when it works for someone like that when you're not expecting it. I thought. They absolutely blissed Ukraine, bad in the pun, to be honest. But they absolutely battered them. And then I thought Ukraine are a very good team, and then Ukraine won the next game. I thought, fucking, you just don't know what's what in this competition, and
that's it.
that is the beauty of it.
Yeah. It's got a very sort of FA Cup feel about it, hasn't it? Where you just think someone's going to do something here, like someone's going further than they should do in this tournament, and it's boss, and it makes it feel again like we're both the same. We're not really interested in international football. Don't like the international breaks and stuff like that. But like I'm one of them. When the tournaments roll around, I do proper enjoy them. Like the last World Cup, I proper enjoyed it.
Like I feel sorry for anyone who's like proper into like supporting England or supporting the country or whatever, because it must be soul destroying, like watching your team go out like Italy last night. But yeah, it's part and parcel of footy, isn't it? It's a passion that we have. It's great to watch this as a neutral with no care in the world. Sometimes I take a bit more interest in when one of our players is playing. I think the team I would have got behind more than anyone because they were like never in with a shout was Scotland, just to you know the way they celebrate the game and the way they enjoy the footy and that. It's great to see them going about the business the way they do. Unfortunately, the team's just shockingly bad, so you don't get long here. But yeah, I like the dark horses. I like the teams that shouldn't really do anything, doing stuff, and that's how it works for me. As you say, like the FA Cup.
Yeah, well now it's got a very much like, you know, you go back to 2004 and Greece won it out of nowhere. It's like I feel like something like that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to quite happen, but I just feel like there's something special that's going to happen for a Switzerland or a Romania or so. I feel like someone's just going to do something unexpected, and it's boss, and you're looking forward to the games. And even today, you've got Spain versus Georgia. Normally, you'd look at that and go, Spain are going to win that about 6-0. But then the other day, Georgia beat Portugal and were by far the better team. So it's
I think Spain are the ones that if it looked like there was going to be one runaway, it'd be Spain. Portugal getting beat by them is bizarre because I thought they looked like a team of winners that even when they weren't playing well, they looked like they could pluck something out.
Yeah.
You know, like they did the other day, late goal. But yeah, it's just mad. I think Spain would probably be the favourites for me. But it'd be great if an outsider done it. But
yeah,
you just don't know.
No, and you say that there, like I thought Portugal were the one team so far in this tournament, up till that game where I've said they look like the real deal. They look like they're the ones that are going to do it. They looked brilliant in the first two games, and I thought they're the favourites. And then that happens, and you're like, I haven't got a clue anymore.
They just look so comfortable. Like even when they were under pressure and under, like they didn't have the ball, they just looked like a unit. Even when they weren't playing very well, they just looked in control. So I think that's what you need to win a competition like this, is to just be in control. But Georgia took that away from them, so there's no front runner.
No, absolutely not. Well, you mentioned, you know, you always have a bit more interest in the game when one of our players are playing. So let's talk about our players in the Euros, because it's been very, very up and down. I think for our players, there's been no one who's just been middle ground. They've either been great or just haven't featured, basically. So we'll start with the main one, and I think that's Trent, the scapegoat, apparently.
Yeah. There's the Paddy Power advert about him now. You seen that?
I seen you shared it, but I haven't watched it. Like, but you know, it's mad because
every non-Liverpool fan is saying,
yeah,
and it's just pathetic.
And it's stupid though, because you know he's being made out to be the scapegoat. You can't be playing a right back in midfield and this, that, and the other. But like, he is statistically England's most creative player in the tournament. He's created more chances in less game time than anybody else on the pitch for them.
Them stats don't count. They don't count anymore. It's only international footy, apparently.
All right, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Real sorry. I apologise.
It doesn't make it. Chances created and chances scored are obviously different as well. So chances created don't matter anymore unless the ball goes in the net until the Prem starts, and then they start.
Then it's all right. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I'll remember that in future. But no, he is being made to be a scapegoat, and you know, and the problem is, the problem is Gareth Southgate. Plain and simple. How you can have someone like Trent in the team and score 2 goals. You know, England's group was the worst group of all time in the Euros, in any competition that I've ever seen. The fact that there was 1 win out of 6 games in that entire group is abysmal. It was horrendous. But Gareth Southgate is England's problem, and I hope they keep him for a very, very long time. But he is. How can you not get something out of Trent Alexander-Arnold? How can you not get something out of Phil Foden? You've got Harry Kane in there, England's best ever goal scorer, statistically, even if the stats might not count anymore or something, I don't know. But he is statistically England's best ever goal scorer, and you can't get him fucking doing anything. You've got Jude Bellingham, who's just fucking tore La Liga apart, can't get anything out of him except for one fucking goal in the first game. It's like Gareth Southgate doesn't know how to work with creative and flair players. If you gave him 11 James Tarkovskis, they'd be the best team in the world. But because he's got creative and flair players, the shit.
The problem is as well, like when he first come in, he was given the youngsters a chance. You could get behind that and go, fair enough, he's given the younger lads a chance. Experiment with them a little bit, see how they go. And he did. He got to the final of the Euros 4 years ago. But when you've got players like Trent, when people are saying like he's not a midfielder, no, he's not a midfielder, but he's not defensively great as a right back. So put him in midfield because he's the most creative player. Yeah, we're not saying build a team around him, but if you play the right forwards, you've got 3-4 goals a game or clear cut chances. You know, play your Ollie Watkins who's going to run in behind. Play players who are going to attack like with the ball going in behind the defenders, not who wanted him to feet. You know, you've got some of the best players in the world there. I regard Phil Foden as up there, and he just doesn't get a sniff for England. He just looks woeful. Can't pass. He's just not playing the way he plays. Bellingham again looks a shadow of himself in the league. It's mad. But I understand England fans getting frustrated, going, he's not like he shouldn't just be playing because he's a name. He's not just a name. He's physically, statistically, the most creative player in England's squad, and he's world class at what he does. He's the equivalent of a Beckham. You know, Beckham offers very little other than fucking majestic balls into creative spaces. That's what Trent does. Give him the ball, he'll pick that pass out. If you ask him to defend, he'll try. But his best, you know, you don't want to be wasting his energy defending when you should have a midfielder covering his. That's what we had with Henderson. I think England missed it as well. Playing centre right back with Henderson was a dream because Henderson could add the engine to cover both positions. Yeah. Unfortunately, you know, you're putting him in there. You're putting him in with an old midfielder and Bellingham who only wants to attack, and it doesn't work with no runners. So I think you've got to sacrifice someone here, and I think the likes of who they're playing tonight, it's Declan Rice. You don't need a fucking defensive midfielder. You put 3 attackers in with Ollie Watkins and fucking hell, Foden and Kane if you want. Play him out wide. Just someone who's going to run in behind to get the best out of the most creative player in the Euro.
It's mad, isn't it? What I will say though, credit to him, Declan Rice. You know, we got asked about Trent playing in midfield and stuff like that, and he absolutely stuck up for him. Like he put his back on the line for him and said he's one of the best players I've ever seen in my life. Like he's unbelievable. And people saying that he's the problem are wrong, basically. Like, fair play to him. Like, I know he's going to say that because he's his teammate, but like, you felt that he proper meant it. He wasn't just saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've seen clips of them in training, lad, where they're having a laugh and a joke. Hit the bar. Trent does it with no shoes on. He's world class at what he does. He's one of them on the eye in all passes of a ball. It would be a shame if he doesn't play again for England because that could rock his confidence. When you're that good and you're being told by dickheads on social media and, you know, even your own coaching that the experiment's not working and stuff, it should have been experiments done a long time before, and you should be basing a team around what he's capable of doing. You know, Kyle Walker, great at fixing his mistakes because he's rapid. Basically, he's not going to get up and create a load for you, and he does get caught defensively as well. But he's got that pace to burn to recover, or he gets the help from the centre half or midfielder. Trent just doesn't seem to have that.
Mad,
whether
isn't
it's
it?
like a lack of communication or whatever, I don't know whether it's just like an instinct thing with him when he does just go forward and he gets on the wing. But that first game, he was on the wing, taking the corners, taking the free kicks, fucking getting balls into the box. He was creating chances, and then England missed them. And it reminds me a bit like the Stuart Darwin days at Liverpool. Stuart Darwin was our scapegoat, created the most chances in the Premier League and the least conversions. But that's not his fault. Putting the ball in the area where it should be fucking hitting the net. If other players can't hit the net or can't create something from it, then that's not on the player who sets it up.
Yeah,
that's football.
Yeah, no, very good comparison, I must admit. But I don't know. It's just just a weird thing with Liverpool fans. I think, even what Gareth Southgate said, we haven't replaced Calvin Phillips. You took him to the last tournament and didn't play him at all. So how can you fucking replace someone that didn't play? Makes no sense. But he's just
clutching at straws, isn't he?
He's a cartoon character.
It's mad. It's like it's his first tournament and he's just in above his head. Like he can't fucking direct the fact that he's the manager of England and he doesn't know what to do or how to work with these players. But
he knows this is it for him. I think he's already pretty much said it. But
he's got to win it. But
he's gone after this tournament.
If you look at that team, it's almost as like generational as your Lampard and Gerrard situations and that, where we have managers who couldn't pick between. So would it be an ideal to, like, if you think on now, you play Gerrard for 60 minutes and bring Lampard on, who's going to like dangle around the box and get you goals and win your games, but Gerrard's going to win you them before it's needed. And I think it's the same now. He's got to just pick his best players and go out attacking. And if you fucking hell, you've got a defence. I'm not saying play fucking right wingers at right back and fucking centre forwards at centre half, but go and attack. Just attack. He's just too negative and he hasn't got the players to do it.
No,
it's like Sean Everton's trying to go all out attack. He can't do it. Hasn't got the players.
Well, now when to go 1-0 up and then sit back and hold on to the lead, like it's. Like you said, on paper, they've got the players there to go out and blitz most teams 3 or 4-0 every single game, and they just haven't got the right manager to do it. And
if you give them one session under Guardiola or Klopp or even like fucking Arteta, lad, he'll just play the strongest team and he'll just go for it. They'll play like 4-2-3-1. But I think even at that, if you're playing like Declan Rice alongside the Bellingham or alongside the Trent, where you've got creative from the middle, even when we're under the cosh, if we can win the ball back, I'm saying we, because I mentioned Trent, but if you win the ball back in that first couple of seconds, then you've got 5 players up front ready to go. And that's the thing. Yeah. There's no system to it. It's just defend, Groundhog Day, get the ball up to Kane or Foden and see what they can produce. It's shocking to watch.
And you know what, lad? It's not even necessarily needing the case of a Guardiola or a Klopp or an Arteta. You don't need anyone like that. You could go and get a Thomas Frank, or you could go and get a.
I just mean in comparison to football. Just
I know,
whose thinking is attack. Yeah,
I think the majority of managers in the Premier League would do a better job with England than Gareth Southgate. I think majority of the managers in the Premier League would win an international tournament with England.
You just got to give them freedom. I think there'd be fucking Sunday League managers out there who just go out and want to attack. Keep a defensive system when you haven't got the ball and go full fucking throttle. When you've got that ability in the team, mate, it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
Doesn't make sense.
It's boring to watch. I think I've only watched one England game, the first one.
But this is the first game, like England 5 o'clock today is the first game where I'm not really looking forward to it because it's England, and not because it's not even because I don't support England, which I don't, but because I know it's going to be very, very boring.
Be 0-0.
0-0, win on pens.
Like, don't get me wrong, like this hatred of England, it's fucking. I don't hate the England team or the England manager. I just hate what international footy is about. You know, the pre-season, the middle of the season, fucking friendlies for nothing, players getting injured. Fucking gobshites who followed them who ate Scousers, but it's softened a little bit. I haven't seen too much of it. So yeah, I wouldn't be if England won 6-0. I wouldn't be one of them who goes on the internet and goes, I'm fucking gutted. Do you know what I mean? As I wouldn't be gutted. It wouldn't interest me. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be sad. I just wouldn't give a fuck if they won 6-0. They're capable of doing it, but not with fucking Sam Allardyce in charge. That's what exactly the level it is. Obviously, Sam Allardyce is a great manager at doing what he does. Southgate's literally pulling the soul out of these players. And I think it's going to have a negative effect going forward if it continues, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, look, let's talk about the other Liverpool player in the England squad. Who everyone you might have forgot he's there, Joe Gomez. So I was saying this to Jay before we started recording. Kieran Trippier is apparently not fit for tonight. So Luke Shaw is the most pointless inclusion in that England squad because he's still not fit. I think he's trained once with the team so far since he's been there. Absolute waste of a space.
4 years, has he?
Absolute waste of a space in that England team. Gareth Southgate again for you. So instead of playing Joe Gomez, who's just played 3/4 of a season at left back for Liverpool, he's going to play Ezri Konsa as a makeshift left back apparently, which is absolutely just baffling, and I don't understand it.
Says it all. Literally says it all. It's not. I don't understand. No, I can't understand it. There's no comparison. I can understand it. But Joe Gomez has been probably one of our better players this season. And again, I don't think he gets the credit he deserves because he's been fantastic as a versatile. He's played centre half, left back, and right back for us. I think at one game he played on defensive mid as well. So versatile, and he does it at a very good level. Where he hinders you going forward. But when you put on a player in to protect you because you've lost your main left back or right back, that's what you need. You need someone who's assured of defence, not going to bomb forward and cost you possession. And that's so bizarre.
Yeah,
absolutely
and
bizarre.
nothing against Ezri Konsa as well. By the way, Ezri Konsa I think is a very good player, but I just think why would you not trust somebody who's played at a high level in that position for a large part of the season? Just gone. It just doesn't make sense to me. But again, that's got to
with the experience as well. I wouldn't. I'm a bit shocked he hasn't considered moving Walker to left back and starting centre right back.
Yeah, that would make more sense than playing Concert as well. But I don't know.
I don't think he's just got no confidence or any nous in what he's doing. Do you know, if he'd done it and it worked, you'd go fair play. But it should be working against the opposition. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it should be. Well, let's move on to the Netherlands because I think they've got the largest contingent of Liverpool players, and again, it's been very up and down for the players in the Netherlands squad. I think starting with Cody Gakpo, I think it'd be fair to say he's been Netherlands' best player at the tournament. I think he's been brilliant, and I think going into the new season for us, he should be our starting left winger. It shouldn't even be a question at the moment. I don't think. I think he ended the season very, very well after he did have a admittedly difficult spell, but I think he finished the season very, very well for us, and it's continued going into the Euros.
I think the difficult spell for him at us was he was getting moved left, right, and centre. Sometimes he was on the left or right, and he was playing through the middle. At times he's played centre mid. It's hard to adjust to a new team when you're getting fucking rocketed around like that. So for me, I like him as a false nine. If we were to play 4-2-3-1, I'd like to see him in the middle of that or on the left. But for the Netherlands, he's been sound. He's scoring goals. He's creating. He's got that. He doesn't look like he should be that fast. He's got that rocket pace when he gets going. He can dribble. So I still don't know where his best position is. I like to see him when he drops in. But I think he's our most direct forward, where when he gets it, he just wants to run at the box. I don't think we've got many of them at the minute. I don't know whether it was a systematic thing or, just a lack of confidence for other players. But every other, even Salah included, Diaz, Nunez, they don't seem to want to go past the man. They want to get it and stop dead and then go backwards. And I don't think Gakpo does that. Gakpo gets it and wants to go to the corner flag and then inside. So yeah, I think he's been signed for Holland, and hopefully he brings that. I hope he has a few more good games and he brings the confidence back to on-field, because there's definitely a player there for his age as well. What is he, about 23?
23, 24, yeah.
So the age of him, he's going to play under a Dutch manager at Liverpool, and it'll be interesting. I think he's definitely in and around the squad, but he hasn't kicked up a fuss when he hasn't been playing either. Which he's got the right attitude. Celebrates the goals like a fan. when he's not playing. And yeah, I think he's got a good career ahead of him for us.
Yeah, absolutely. At the other end of the spectrum is Ryan Gravenberch. Hasn't played a minute. I don't think, which again, I know it's all about, I know you've got to have players there just to make up the numbers kind of thing, and to come in for players when they're not, if they get injured and anything like that. But like, give the lad a bit of something, give him something, just anything. Like I don't get it. I don't see the point in taking players and then not using them at all.
Just one of them, innit? If you've got your ideal starting 11, and I think Holland had to win every game they went into, they had to win or pick up points. So I think there hasn't really been a situation where like someone's pissed the group and then could play the reserves. You know what I mean? So I think like if you're gonna take your bench, then you play them when you're clearly through. If that situation doesn't arise, then you've got to play your best 11. If he's not in their best 11, then that's just what happens. Unfortunately, I think again, I think he's going to be a confidence player. He could have had a good Euros. He might still be able to come on in a big game and get an assist or a goal or something. So he might be just used and utilised as and when he's needed. Like he has been with us, really. He's only been utilised when we've been a bit desperate. And, I think it was a mixed bag as well last season. It wouldn't be one of them to say, get rid of him. He showed signs of a player who doesn't really look that arsed, but I think that's his body language in general. I don't think it's a factor of how he actually is thinking or whatever. Sturridge was the same. Sturridge looked like he couldn't give a fuck, and then he'd get the ball and he'd be gone. Just gotta. They're all youngish lads, and they all need time. And I think he's got that situation where he chose us over the national team, didn't he? And I don't think he's really recovered from that.
No.
That's still in the back of the mind, the manager, and that. So fucking. He's got bonus points for that anyway. Give him another season.
And then obviously you've got Van Dijk, who obviously captain of the Netherlands. Hasn't been as best. I think is fair to say. Hasn't been awful. Hasn't been great. He's just been a bit. Meh. You know what I mean? I just think there's definitely more that he can offer for them. He's just, I don't know. I don't think it helps when he's getting slated all the time by all these Dutch legends, Van Basten and I think Ruud Gullit had stuff to say about him, and it's just like get off his back kind of thing a bit. It's like they go on about him like he's fucking scoring 3 own goals a game and they're getting knocked out in groups and things like that. It's like, yeah, look, they haven't been great in the group, but most teams haven't been great in the group. Like no one is pissed through it, like you just said. I think some of the criticism he gets is over the top from the Dutch legends, but they've got a right to say what they want to say about it because obviously they've been there and done it. So
I think that's the problem. I think they're a bit disillusioned because they've been there and done it and they've been successful and they've had great teams and they think every team that comes through is going to match them and it should match them, but he's the leader of an average Dutch squad, unfortunately. I think the problem lies where he's not a leader. His presence doesn't show leadership for me. I said that before he was made captain of Liverpool. I think it's just for me it's like a Sammy Appiah effect. I think you take the armband off him and tell him to just concentrate on his own game and he becomes a better player.
Yeah.
I think there's too much pressure on him. I think the same as us. He looks like a leader. He looks like he can go to war and fucking just win. He just looks like a winner. He's got that aura about him. But I think that, could be like a persona that doesn't work for him as well as it used to. He's getting older. He's getting a bit slower. He's getting out the ball a little bit later. He's not making as many tackles because he is getting a little bit older. And I think that persona could do with being gone. Let's judge him on his actual defending, and he has to work for it. And being labelled the best player in the world, and at one point being the most expensive defender in the world and stuff like that, I think it didn't fucking bother him. I think now it's starting to bother him a little bit because he is getting a little bit slow and he's getting more ridicule, and it's a lot of the ridicule's harsh. I kicked up a fuss about him last season, like how he doesn't get out the ball and how he like doesn't dangle a leg. He just stands there and lets opposition players shoot. But there's obviously a method in the madness. It's worked for him before, so it's just I don't know. I don't know what it is with him. He just doesn't seem to be the same player. And I don't think it's an ability thing. I think it's a confidence thing. I think if he had a manager like Uli to put his arm around him and say, "Listen, lad, I think your best days are ahead of you, but without the armband, without that pressure. Let's give it to someone else. Let someone else lead, and you just concentrate on your defence." I think that would work for all parties.
Yeah, and I think we were both of the idea last season before the captaincy got announced that I think it probably should have been Robbo. I think he's the most captain-like. He's your sort of, when we always used to say it, like Carragher is more of a natural captain than Gerrard was. I always say you players are captains for two reasons. One, it's because they shout at everybody, they talk all the time, they're keeping everyone in line, like Henderson was, like Carragher did when he was playing, or it's because of their ability, like Gerrard, like Van Dijk. But I find a lot of the time they're just not. You always want your captain to be a manager on the pitch, and the ones who shout and talk all the time are more like that. And I feel like Robertson would be a better captain for that. I think he'd be better at marshalling the players. You're seeing it when we were having we had a bad game one. I can't even remember who it was against, but it was Robertson getting them in a huddle and leading them and psyching them up again. You know what I mean? Not Van Dijk. It should be Van Dijk because he's the captain. But I think in all but the armband, Robertson is he's a better captain. And I think, like you said, it would lift a lot of pressure on Van Dijk if he didn't have the armband on.
Yeah, I agree, lad. I think, say, Robbo's right up there. I think, like, ability-wise, you've got to do something every game to make your teammates stand up and go, wow. And Gerrard done that. So that's why he was captain. Gerrard was a man of little words. He was apparently quite shy in that, but fuck me. He'd score a goal, he'd run at the fans and he'd celebrate like mad, and you must be stood looking at him going, how the fuck did he just put that ball in it from there? And he'd done it time and time again. So, he led by example in training. He was the first in, the last out. He said himself, like, he wanted to, there was no like sentiment. He wanted your position. From a young age, he wanted it. He wanted it more than anyone. The captain's got to be the same. I'm not doubting that Van Dijk's a very brilliant, very good professional. He's a brilliant footballer. I just think it's all got to his head a little bit too much. I think like going from potentially winning a quadruple and the likes of last season potentially leading your side to what we thought could have been like a title, and we were expecting to win the Europa League and stuff, and it all fizzled out. I think it gets on them, the human beings who feel that pressure of life, and that's their job. And if the job's not going well, as the team leader, the captain, it falls on your shoulders. So I think he could do with being like relieved of that pressure. Even like to say, just go vice captain. But he won't, because footy's moved on. I think that all that now with the media and social media and that, to be people kicking up a fuss, like he'd get leathered from all angles, from all opposition fans and that. And again, that does get on top of you. I think the one thing I really want to see from Arne Slot, if I could pick one thing Arne Slot implemented that wasn't there before, it'd be that all our players have fucking burner accounts and you can't directly contact them, because I think it absolutely kills some of them. That modern day thing. But yeah, I think Van Dijk, obviously, he's going to be starting for us next season. He's hit and miss with Holland, hit and miss for us. I think he just needs a bit of support and a bit of help, and in positions like when you've got centre right back and you've got to cover your other centre half to help out, and we haven't really had a sense defensive mid playing that system. I just think it's all changed for him since Fabinho's gone, and it's shown. But he'll be all right. He'll come back.
Yeah. So the other three players we've got at the Euros, of all, I think they've all left now. Start with Jaros for Czech Republic. Obviously, keeper didn't get a game. I think just the fact that he was there is a testament to how well he finished the season. He obviously went on loan to Sturm Graz. end up winning the league.
Obviously went. I didn't even know he existed, lad. So nice one.
Obvious to me, anyway. Now, went on loan to Sturm Graz in Austria. End up winning the league over Salzburg. So, massive contribution. Their keeper got injured. He was first choice for the rest of the season. Managed to get himself into the Czech Republic team. I think made his debut just before the tournament. And the fact he was there is amazing for him. And I think, with the talk of Kelleher going, and obviously Adrian looks like he's gone. Basically, he's gone back to Spain. It means we don't have to go out and buy a third choice keeper at the very least.
How old is he?
20, 21, something like that.
Yeah.
He's young. But he's one of them. He's, people who watch the academy and stuff like that, he's one who's been talked about for a long time. And then you'd think, why haven't we seen anything of him? And then he's finally got that proper chance to go on loan to a good club in a good league. And as I say, they've gone on to win the league over Red Bull Salzburg, who walk it every year, basically. And it's been massive for him. So, yeah, I mean, I expect we'll probably start seeing him in the first team next season. I think might play the odd League Cup game or the FA Cup game here and there. But again, with the rumours of Kelleher apparently wanting to go and stuff like that, there's a big chance there for him if it happens. And I think we're probably one of the only clubs as big as we are who would actually just go, yeah, son, let's give him a chance. We're not going to go out and buy someone to replace Kelleher as second choice. Let's give this lad a chance.
Definitely.
And I think, Kelleher, I think the one thing that makes sense, that looks like it would make sense if they could afford him, would be Celtic. Joe Hart's just retired. They need a new keeper. It would be an ideal move for him, I think, if they could afford him. But it's whether they can afford to go out and spend 20 mil on a keeper, because they just haven't got that kind of money normally.
I just don't get out. We're seeing signings. I think Notts Forest just signed Anderson from
35 mil.
35 mil. Kelleher's worth 50 mil. He is. He's fucking won. He's won us 3 cups.
Yeah,
played in finals. He's proven. He's played nearly a full season with Liverpool last season. In a season we finished third. He's been our number 1 goalie. And he's won trophies. He's single-handedly, the games we've played against Chelsea when there's been not much going on and we've gone to penalties and that. Saves he's made in cup finals. He's not worth 20 million. Not a fucking chance. Double that at least, honestly.
I agree, but I just think...
I think that's going to be one of them. A bit like Brad Friedel, where you kicked yourself for years because he's got that ability. I think Friedel went on to play top level till he was 40, and he was fucking unbelievable. He was the one, because we struggled with goalies. We had David James, he was a calamity. Brad Friedel, done all right, and then we let him go. And then, was it Dudek?
Yeah, Dudek.
Dudek.
You had Westerveld.
They were all
Dudek, Kirkland.
Even Rayner was brilliant for 3 seasons, and then we seen the dip in him. Every keeper we've had up until Alisson has been very hit and miss. We've never really had a world class. Well,
Mignolet as well.
Yeah, every one of them. Karius wasn't even it. He was just missed, wasn't he? But we've never really had anyone world class who was constantly world class till Alisson. I know he makes mistakes in that, but 99% of the time, you can trust him. I think Kelleher will be one of them that if he does go, he'll go on to have an unbelievable career. And it'll be one. If he goes, there's got to be a clause in it to say in a couple of years when Alisson goes, do you fancy coming back and being number 1? Yeah. I think that's the way we do it.
Put a buyback clause in any deal and that. But you mentioned Friedel there, played top level for a few years. I think it was 310 consecutive Premier League games he played. He had 10 seasons.
I used to watch him at Blackburn and just think, why is he there?
And then he went to Villa and then he went to Tottenham, and it's like he was pushing 40 and still moving up. It was he was unbelievable. He was crazy, but yeah. Now we just had him.
Purple goalie top. I spelled his name wrong and I had to take it back.
No, he was one of them, but we never got a chance to see how good he was at Liverpool, and that's the difference, isn't it? We've seen how good Kelleher is at Liverpool, and I think there's a little bit of, you say about his value and stuff like that. Yeah, he probably is worth 40, 50 million in today's market if players are going for 35 million to Nottingham Forest. It's bonkers, but I think when you're talking about values, I think there's an element of we don't want to look like we're pricing him out of a move at the same time. If he's coming to us and saying, "Look, I'd love to stay at Liverpool, but I want to play first choice football." You've got I think I've spoke about it before. You've got Gavin Bazunu there at Southampton, who's a good keeper, but he's nowhere near as good as Kelleher. And the fact that there's a battle for Irish number one between them two does a disservice to Kelleher. And he's probably looking at that thinking, look, I know I'm better than him, but I need to be playing week in, week out for that to be fully proven. And I just think
fair, lad, he has, hasn't he?
He has last season.
4 games or something. So he should be cemented in that role. But I agree. It's hard when you've got, obviously, from a selfish point of view, we want him to sit there, be happy that he's at Liverpool, that he gets to wear and walk alone every couple of weeks, and if he's needed, he's there. But that's not how footy works, lad. He's too good to be sat on our bench, unfortunately.
Yeah, he is.
It is a disservice to him that I thought it was our last as soon as Alisson was fit that he got played because Kelleher was doing fine. I think it would have been respectful to Kelleher to let him see the season out because he's been brilliant.
Yeah.
Like really, he made a few mistakes again, but we've discussed it. If Alisson makes them mistakes, no one bats an eyelid because he makes them, but it doesn't because you just know how good he is. I think it's the same with Kelleher. Like, never had a balls going in the box. I've never cringed that if he comes out, I think he's going to either punch it or catch it. Shots on target from far out, I don't ever feel like it's going to slip through him. You know, and there has been situations
distribution.
Where it has.
It's distribution for me as well, lad. Like, I get nervous sometimes when...
One game I watched, and he played like a sweeper. We get the ball back to him, and he pinged it through the middle of the pitch. And Diaz got in. Should have had an hat-trick in the first 15 minutes and missed them all. We ended up drawing the game. It was fucking soul-destroying. Lad, no, it might have been Luton, and we scored late. Or did we draw with Luton?
Away, yeah.
I can't remember. It was at Anfield. But he's fucking... I'm in the cop. He's pinging it, lad. All game. Pinging it.
Don't forget he started...
Right through to the edge of their box where Diaz was running behind. I think he was offside once. He hit the post and he put one over. And you're like, fucking hell, lad. That could be 3-0. Could be game over.
Well, don't forget, he was only a keeper for 2 years before we actually signed him as a teenager. He was a midfielder before that, and you can see that in him. But
that's a mad move, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it is mad. But but again, you can see with his technique, the way he hits the ball, that he's not just a keeper. And I think, there's times with Alisson with his distribution. His distribution is good, but there's times when you think you wince a bit when he's about to get rid of it because there's a defender right there or something like that. Yeah, but Kelleher, I don't get none of that with him. I feel a lot more comfortable when he's got the ball at his feet than I do Alisson.
Because he's not crazy either. He's not like he won't try and do something mad. Like he'll control it and he'll get rid of it. Whereas Alisson debates doing keep ups. I'm not. He does. He debates doing keep ups, lad, and rainbow flicks and all that shit.
Yeah. He just thinks he's fucking Higuita, doesn't he? He's going to do a scorpion kick one day to save it.
And he reminds me like when I watch videos of Grobler, like. You don't know what to expect of him. You do. Your nerves. Even there's videos of games we've watched and Grobler's done something mad and I've been like, oh, what's he doing?
No, you know what he is, lad? He's the fucking monk from Mean Machine. He just picks the ball up and starts fucking running 40 yards out.
Salah's like, why is Alisson just gone on the outside of me?
Why is Alisson overlapping me?
No, but that's the beauty of him, lad. He's absolutely class. You don't really, you know what to expect of him in the terms of 99% of the time, whatever he's going to do works, but he's got that mistake in him, and that's all goalkeepers. But not all goalkeepers have the 99% success rate of it coming off. And even watching him for Brazil, like the saves he's making, that should not be saved, shouldn't even be getting near him. He's doing it still. So it doesn't matter what level he's playing at or what opposition he's playing at, he's always fully focused. And I think Kelleher's the same. I think a few keepers switch off. Pickford's one of them. Pickford, you see him doing a crossword on the post when he's not involved, and then they fucking concede. He just hasn't got that focus. Ramsey's the same. I think they've both got something wrong with them. Ramsdale, sorry, yeah. I think they've both got something actually mentally wrong with them. I think they've got like an ADHD of some sort. Or
more bothered about riling up the crowd than they are, like, sometimes anyway. But that Ramsdale said he can't concentrate for 90 minutes in a game. It's like, well, that's why you're not fucking playing football anymore.
every 15 minutes he has to do something. And I feel like, I don't know, even Tarkowski said about he started just ignoring Pickford. Because he said he'll be shouting for no, like, get back for nothing. Got the ball. Like he said, he started to ignore. He's just always grilling people and that. But I think that's the difference in world class, knowing when to shout, when to do things, and when not to. But anyway, fucking hell. Who's this
Anyway, off topic. Completely went off on a kilter as we always do. Yeah, Jaros, as I was saying.
What a player! What a player! Kelleher's number 3.
No, as I say, it is good for him just being involved in the team. I think he's got a long international career ahead of him, and this is just the sort of first taste of it. If Czech Republic keep qualifying for tournaments, I think in a couple of years' time, he's going to be their first choice. So, glad he's with us, basically. And as I say, I do think we'll start seeing him this season.
Hey, remember that time we were going to do a half-an-hour podcast to catch up?
No, we don't do half an hour.
Half an hour talking about Jaros.
But yeah, and we still haven't even finished the fucking our players in the Euros here. We said, right, we're going to talk about the players in the Euros, we're going to talk about this, talk about that, and it'll be half an hour, and we're 46 minutes in, and we haven't even finished talking about the Euros yet.
We'll whiz through now, go on.
Will we though? Will we really? Yeah, the other ones, obviously, that were in the Euros have left. Szoboszlai, Hungary. It's hard for him, because, again, it's the team that he's got around him isn't good, and he just happens to be head and shoulders above the rest. You know, he's the youngest captain in the Euros history, and he's very. You watch them, and he's very, very clearly their best player. But it's like he can only do so much, and they were unlucky, obviously, going out in the end, especially after the celebrations after they beat Scotland, and then didn't even get through as one of the best third place teams. It just went a bit over the top. It did look like knobheads now, to be fair. But yeah, it's, again, they're never going to be a team, or at least they don't look like they're ever going to be a team that are going to really challenge for anything. They're always going to be just kind of just involved. They're going to be there. They'll make it to a few tournaments here and there, but they're never really going to establish themselves as any good, unfortunately.
I'd be a proper little bitch if I was from one of them countries, mate. I'd be like, I'm not playing for them. The fuck right? I'm not wasting my day off coming to play for you.
Yeah. You'd be like that, wouldn't you? Let me just bell me granddad and just ask him where he's from. Let me check he's fully like Hungarian. Like, granddad, have you got any Spanish in you at all? Like, is there anything you can fucking borrow me? No, it's hard because is that good enough? Yeah. To be fair, I don't know. I mean, completely off topic again, but there's a player was born in Spain, but he's been playing for Equatorial Guinea for the past 10, 11 years, Emiliano Insu, and he played for Middlesbrough in the Prem a few years ago. And he's their best player by far, been fully fledged international for them for about 10 years. Turned out he's never actually been eligible for them.
Fuck off.
I don't know how I don't know how you messed that up as an FA.
He's been there on holiday and just didn't come on.
Yeah, no, I swear to God, he's never been eligible for them. And everyone was like, so what are they going to do? Are they just going to like void their last 10 years of results or whatever? And in the end, he just voided the last 2 results because he scored in them both basically and he won. But that's mad.
He's just turned up to their training camp going, I'm from here. Go ahead. Pass the ball.
Yeah. Where were you born? I'll just see that household. I was there. Yeah. As I say, off topic, but it was mad. Now, Hungary, though, as I say, Szoboszlai, and like it must be hard for them countries because they know they're never going to amount to anything. But then at the same time, it's just if you love your country, then you're not asked. You know what I mean?
See the difference, like when they played like Scotland, when it was like head to head, toe to toe. It was a decent game that they were going for it. He looked good. He looked good. He had players around him signing that, and then it's hard to judge a player when you are playing with absolute shit. So it's hard to say. I think he had an up and down one. He played well in some games. Looked a little bit invisible in some games. Again,
it was kind of a story for us, though.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit annoyed with the comments he made before and that as well, saying like he wasn't really asked he wasn't playing for Liverpool because he couldn't get injured then, so he could go to the Euros. And I thought that's the fucking wrong attitude to have. I get it, feel it in your head, but don't fucking tell us.
Yeah,
you're not bad.
I didn't see that, to be fair.
Yeah, he basically said that he wasn't interested, that he wasn't playing come the end of the season because he was saving himself for the Euros, and I don't know whether I've misread it, but apparently if he had been playing, he probably wouldn't have given everything anyway, because he wants to go to the Euros, which is, if that's true, the fucking wrong thing to say and feel, to be honest. But yeah, he's one of them players. We've overhyped him massively early on, and I think it's hit him. And I think, you've got to take that pressure off him. We underhyped McAllister, and he ended up being the one out of two who really stood out, which I'm delighted about, because, World Cup winner, sensational to watch, dead easy on the eye. Szoboszlai's a bit more box to box, a bit more like Gerrard, but hasn't got that ability that we thought he had. He has got it, but it hasn't shown.
Yeah, anyway, don't forget he's still only 23.
No, he's going to be brilliant, lad. He is. He's going to be brilliant. I think again, everyone went a bit downhill after January. I think he had injuries as well. Struggled to get back in the team. Players were in and out the team. We didn't know what our best midfield was, what our best defence was, what our best attack was. We didn't really have a system of play. It all sort of just fizzled out a little bit. I think the energy from the players did as well. So it'd be interesting to see him under a new manager, where we're gonna play attacking football. We're not gonna be too cautious. We're gonna have a system that suits the players we've got, because I think that all changed. It all just. And I think I went to that evening with Jurgen Klopp, and he basically said that he was running on 95%, and he was leaving through respect to Liverpool Football Club, that you can't manage Liverpool Football Club on only 95%. He said he feels fine. There was no issues, but he had to do the service to Liverpool. He was running out of ideas. He was running out of things to do when things weren't going right, and that's absolutely fine. I think we could see that ourselves, and I think players like Szoboszlai will relish the opportunity to have a player with a manager with a clear identity now.
Yeah, definitely. The other player then we had at the Euros, obviously we mentioned them before, Robbo. Same story with Szoboszlai really, I think. Just, the players around him. Obviously, they've got a few bigger names in the Scotland team than they have in the Hungary team. Obviously, you've got that big goat in the middle, McTominay. And I don't mean goat in the good sense, just he is an actual physical goat. He's got a hard head, not about it. Now, obviously, he does well for Scotland, in fairness to him. But, few better players there, but just overall, not a lot of quality in the squad. Didn't know this, they've never actually made it out of a group stage at a major tournament. You just give up, wouldn't you? Like, why even bother trying to qualify?
just have a day off.
Yeah, just enjoy your summer. Just enjoy your summer. Go to somewhere a bit more sunny, like the fucking Antarctic, and enjoy a nice summer.
Just in the middle of Portugal or something like that.
I mean, compared to Scotland, we might as well live in the middle of Portugal. No, it's just, again, just a team with not a lot of quality overall.
Loads of passion, no quality. But they understand that. They're not fucking gutted. They get gutted, but they sort of go there knowing they're not going to win, don't they?
Don't get me wrong, I was gutted for them when Hungary scored that winner. The last kick of the game. I was absolutely devastated for them.
But then I thought it was Szoboszlai who put it in, so we do the change straight away to then going back into reverse, being gutted for them. I watched it in a bar on Shabazz Park in Liverpool, one, some outside screen, lad, and there was just loads of Scottish people. But even them, like, if that was England conceding in the last minute, you'd be seeing tables and chairs getting fucking lashed at the screen and setting each other on fire. And that they just put their heads down,
setting each other on fire,
bevy, and then have a drink. And we were fucking expecting it. Is what it is. But they cracked on, and that's how it could be.
Yeah.
Robbo's just Robbo, isn't he? There's been spells where he hasn't looked that great for us last season, and you think, oh, is it time? Is he done now? And then he has 3 games bad, and then he has 6 on the top where he's spot on. So, fucking hopefully he has a good rest and he comes back and he's our main left back.
Yeah. There was one more player at the Euros that I haven't mentioned, but it's because he hasn't played. I think he's been injured, is Kanate, which has been a shame, because I think if the reports are to be believed, he would have been the first choice centre half alongside Upamecano, which to me, I've said it time and time again, is bonkers. It's mad. It should be. I don't know why I keep saying that. It should be Konate and Saliba if they're all fit. But yeah, didn't really see. Not really much point in talking about Konate. As I say, he's been injured. He hasn't played. There's not really much to say. So moving on then.
Yeah. Gone.
Yeah.
I won't even say. I feel like I have to say something, but I'm not going.
Moving on then. While the Euros is ongoing, the Copa America is also going on alongside it. So obviously we have got a few players there as well. I haven't really kept up to date with the Copa America. I've seen the results and things like that. But the only clips I've really seen have been of one man, and that is Darwin Nunez, who is the best striker in the world when he's wearing the Uruguay kit. Which you love to see, you really do, because hopefully, he comes back next season and he kicks on again. But then at the same time, are we just going to have the same old story with him? It's a tough one. But Uruguay, Copa America, they've got a very, very, very good record in it. So, if any of our boys can go on and win that, I'm just made up for them.
Yeah, well, we should have one of them at least, shouldn't we? And we've got
hopefully,
Argentina, Alisson, Brazil, Nunez, Uruguay, and Diaz, Colombia.
Yeah.
We should have a winner there. We should have two finalists, ideally. Nunez is. Do you know what? It looks to me like he just plays with so little pressure there. I think, I've heard others saying it, that the pressure he carries at Liverpool, wearing the number 9, and what we expect from him. But he still got 18 goals last season. Got 18 goals. I think got about 10 assists as well. So,
he got 31 goals and assists in all competitions. So,
did he? Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you know what? Like, he's improved on last year. It's just the misses with him. It's just where his head's at. I think listening to someone earlier, and he was saying like he just seems to feel the pressure so much more at Liverpool, and doesn't get the chance to play with freedom. And I think I agree. I was saying before about like if Arne Slot could just ban them off social media, because when he plays at Uruguay, you've got no one wanting them to fail to prove a point. At Liverpool, you've got these tits on the internet who want to go, "Oh, I told you so," and they fucking message the man direct and they tag him in posts and shit, and he sees it. So I think it's just time he fucking plays jibbed it. I think, he hasn't got to prove himself to anyone, really. He's proven that what he's worth. He won us points last season on his own. The likes of Newcastle, Forest, Sheffield United, he's won big, massive gains for us, like results that we needed to carry on. So he's proven he can do it. He's proven he can be calm in front of goal. He's proven he can be absolute chaos. I'm putting it out there that I think our performances as a team were too chaotic for him. I think he needs to bring the chaos on his own. I don't think he can work in chaos. And I think at Uruguay, when they've got a system where they hunt you down on the counter-attack, and you've seen the goals he scores, that they're all from like whacking the ball up the wing and a ball straight across the 6-yard box, tapping, he's scoring them. Or, like the other day, counter-attack to the edge of the box, goes into Nunez, fucking, he buries your first time touch. We haven't been doing that. We had systems being chaotic, lump balls and looking for the loose ball and the ball to bounce off a defender or whatever. It's been too chaotic for him, and I don't think he can do both. I don't think he can be chaos in chaos. I think he has to bring it himself. So, again, I'm relishing the opportunity to see him work under a manager who likes to play with a lead man and, tries to keep players where the best. And I think it'll work for him. If it doesn't work next season, I think he will be shown the door. But it depends what is working. What's working at Liverpool Football Club? Bobby Firmino, who scores 9 goals as a number 9. But he absolutely the pinnacle of everything we do. He's in the focus of everything we create and every ball back we win. Or, do you want him just solely for goals and assists? So, Liverpool Football Club are a better team with Nunez in it. We've just got to work a bit more around what he's capable of. And, I like seeing him come in off the left, but if he can go from the left, from the right and centre, and he can play up front on his own with runners in behind who are going to attack the wings and put the ball across the box to him, then I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, he scored 18 goals last season. but with the chances he missed, he could have had 38 goals last season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the big thing. But again, like you just said, he's shown with Uruguay that he can, you know, some of the goals he scored, he scored one where he sort of dinked it over the keeper, then he scored a volley. He's showing that he can score all these different types of goals, and they're not even different things to what he's trying when he's for Liverpool. It doesn't come off. Obviously, he's playing against better opposition week in, week out than he is for Uruguay, so there's that what you've got to kind of take into account for as well. But we've said it from the off, that there's a player in there just waiting to be unleashed, and when it all clicks for him, he's going to be ridiculous.
He's got a click, lad. He's so emotional as well. Like, you know, like when he plays, he's not. You think like he's so focused on himself and his own performance, but then we've seen how he reacts to when the team win and he's not on the pitch, and he's up, he's jumping down fucking stairs to celebrate and stuff. So he's a team
while he's
player.
injured.
Yeah, he's an out and out team player. I just think he takes a lot of what goes wrong in the game on his own shoulders, and I think he does. You know, we've said before, you know, it's a bit frustrating when he's missing chances and then he's smiling, he's laughing after the game when we've driven that. But I think that's all just to fucking tell himself that it's all right. I think he does feel it. I think he feels the pressure as a number 9, but he had the balls to take the number 9. You know, he replaced Bobby Firmino as a number 9, and he took that knowing what the number means to the club and what's expected of you. And yeah, 18 goals and 11 or 12 assists is just not bad at all, really. Especially when you haven't played every game, like. So he's averaging a goal in 2 games, isn't he? And he hasn't played every game. He's had time out, and again, a system that's being rotated where you don't know who your left wing is going to be, or your right winger, or your centre mid. You know, if we can get a nailed on starting 11 and rotate in the 60th minute like we should be doing, I think it just needs to be a system that is complete, and I think it works. I think he's one of them players that he works. He tries to work to who he's playing with as well. Like you see him when Trent goes central, he's looking across the line to see. He's always offside anyway, but he's looking across the line to make that dart and run in behind because he knows he's going to play it there. Where he with McAllister or Soberslide's more into feet. He adapts to who he's playing with. He's got a football brain. Like, I've ridiculed him saying he hasn't. He's got a footy brain, but there's that much change in the way we've played in the last year that it must be fucking hard to digest everything that's going on. I think we just need to let him run free. Free as the grass grows. No, we need to let him run free and do his thing, and hopefully it just clicks. It should naturally just click because he's got the ability. But I'd love to see him working alongside someone like Ian Rush or Robbie Fowler as a coach, because I think they fucking nail him on to be 30 goals a season.
Todd, again, the one I've said before is Torres. He's just left Atletico Madrid's under 19s. Needs a job. Bring him in as a coach. Like what I'm gonna
do that.
No, but it can't do any harm. You know what I mean? And he done well. He done a decent job with the under 19s at Atletico, so he knows what he's doing. And obviously, you know, at one point in his career when he first joined us, he was the best striker in the world. So
yeah, well, there's comparison. It can be done. You look at Nunez. I think I've said before, like even at Uruguay, there's like comparisons to the way Torres, the goal he scored the other day, where he's hit it right past the keeper, first touch. That's your Torres. He scored at Atzer, I think it was against Mexico. All tap-ins from inside the 6-yard box. There's your Dirk Kuyt. And then he's absolutely mad like Suarez. He's got the ability to score volleys and fucking overheads and all mad shit and attack you. So, you know, he's got all of it. He could be any one of them. He's just got to merge him into fucking being the best version of them and himself. And I think that all comes with a little bit less pressure on him and a little bit more like routine. Playing him with the same players and playing in the same system and playing in the same position and learning it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a player in there, and I think he just does need that bit of help. And I think, obviously, it's going to help him as well being with Uruguay. Obviously, we know his English still isn't the best, which shouldn't really be used as an excuse. Now he's been here 2 years. Like, if he should be putting the effort into to learn English.
Lad, he knows how to say it. How are we in Scout? So
that's good enough. No, but it comes into it, lad. You look at again not quite the same, but you look at Ben Bennett and Diaz, who's from fucking Stoke or wherever he's from, but he's in the Chile national team. Can't speak Spanish, so he got dropped because of it. Because he can't communicate with the team, and it's not the same because it's national team and it's your club team, but it's a similar thing. If you can't communicate with everybody in the team at the same level, it's going to make his job that little bit more difficult. You know what I mean?
I think he's come on leaps and bounds, though. I think
he definitely has. He definitely has.
Like basic English now, and he's doing it. But again, it's hard, isn't it? Like, if you said to me, you're moving here for work, but you've got to learn fucking Spanish, I wouldn't have a clue, lad. I used to just sit playing champ, man. Didn't fucking know what to do. Couldn't digest it. I don't think I ever could. So it's difficult. Some people are like that. But yeah, I think he's got another season, like, to prove that he's another one. He could go to another team and they just play to suit him and be doing what like Haaland's doing and scoring every fucking couple of games and numbers being mad. But that's not him. He doesn't play that way. He is chaos, and we're better with him in the team. We've got to try and build it around him. He's got to be the main number 9. He's got to be the main man. We've got to let him know that, and I think he'll thrive with confidence. I just think we just put too much pressure on him, and I think he feels it and he takes it. So take that away from him. Ban his social media and it'd be sound.
Yeah.
But I did kick up a fuss about him because, as you said before, the chances he's missed, and there was games we dropped points where he did miss them, and he's at the bar, the post, he's put them wide. But there's loads of opportunities where he has hit the bar or the post, or the keeper's saved it, or he's been like 2 yards out and it's just gone straight to the keeper. In hindsight, when you look at that now and you go, fucking hell, there's not really a great deal he could have done different. You know, an inch either side, it's in. It's one of them that happens as a striker. The fact that he's getting into them positions and he's creating them chances and he's letting us create them chances for him, missing them, at least he's in the position. I just think I was all out like, I'm fucking done. Like, he's frustrated the life out of me at the end of the season. I've calmed down. I'm like, yeah, let's go, ready for him. Let's just hope it works for him.
Yeah, absolutely. So last thing to touch on then before we finish this half-an-hour podcast is the only real bit of transfer news we've had since the window's been open is obviously the news yesterday that broke. It was kind of a bit of a badly kept secret, I suppose, but obviously Liverpool and Newcastle did hold talks over a move for Anthony Gordon. But the talks broke down because they wanted Quanta as part of the deal, and we've gone absolutely not. And so that's the end of it. Although there is still rumours flying that we could go back in for him, that we're still interested in him. But for now, the deal looks dead in the water. I'd like Anthony Gordon to join us. I think he'd be a very good addition. But if it means losing Quanta in the process, then I don't want the deal to happen.
Agree. I think Quanta's the future of Liverpool. I think he's being modelled on Van Dijk. I think at this current time in personnel, I think he starts alongside Van Dijk in every game he can. I think he's absolutely quality. It'd be a massive risk to lose one English player for another. When we've seen how good Quanta's going to be, when we're short for numbers, like you said earlier before we started, like I think, you can't risk that. But I have seen snippets of like people saying it could be offering Kelleher their way as part of it, which would be, again, I don't know how much playing time he'd get there, but they're looking for a keeper. I
hadn't seen that myself, but sorry, I hadn't seen anything about Kelleher going there, but I have seen today that I think Newcastle are getting a keeper from Forest, but then you've also agreed to deal for this James Trafford as well. So I don't know, maybe it's just hoarding keepers at this point.
It might all just be bullshit, lad. The only thing, I got a text message off like my uncle, and he messaged me saying, it was a forwarded message saying, put 500 quid on Anthony Gordon to join Liverpool. Evans, my cousin's in Glastonbury with his cousin, and he's told him to put 500 quid on him joining him. So that's all I've got. Apparently there's going to be a medical in Germany, but it could all be bollocks. I can't see it happening. I think there's too too many issues involved.
Mm.
I think they've already let 2 players go now already to try and balance the books and stuff. So I think if he's probably one of their best players, to let him go to us for the price they're talking about as well. They're talking like 50, 60 mil. Is a bit mad, to be honest, but they're desperate. We're desperate for a player who attacks the box. He's one of them players that you absolutely fucking can't bear the sight of. I hate his face. I hate how he looks, how he approaches the game, the way he plays when it's against us. I'd absolutely fucking love him at us. I'd dye me hair blonde. I would. I'd look like Princess Diana. I wouldn't give a fuck as well. But no, it's one of them. He's one of them players like that. He is. He knows what he's doing. He's an annoying little toe rag, and he's a scouser. Well, fucking not anymore. But he started talking a bit more scouts now.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen the pictures of him at Wembley as a kid. He is a red. The interviews he's done, he's never fucking bad-mouthed us. He's talked about like Mo Salah being a machine and looking up to Steven Gerrard and talking to the lads in England camps and that. So if we can get it done, get it done. I think I've said from last season, my frustration with our team, I don't know whether it was a system thing, is that we don't bombard the box, we don't run at the goal. Only Gakpo does it. Everyone else seems to want to like pass it into the net. Diaz will beat a man 3 times, then go backwards. Salah does the same, always looking forward and then back to pass to the fullback or the centre mid. Needs someone who just wants to get on the ball and dribble past the player, and I think in the league at this moment he's probably the best at it. He's dangerous, and in 23 years old, he had good stats last season at Newcastle. He's got that arrogance about him, that cockiness that you fucking can't bear when it's against you, but you can't beat it when it's for you, lad. So yeah. Again, it doesn't bother me what we pay. I'm not interested in costs and that. If the club, you know, the hierarchy believe that he's worth a certain amount and we're willing to do it, then I'd go all out for him, to be honest. I think he's the best in that position in the league.
Yeah, he's up there, and you know, you talk about his value being 50, 60 million. I think that's a fair price, I think, to be honest with you, because you know, Newcastle bought
this market, innit?
In this market, even more so, to be honest. But
that's what I mean positively. I think he's
right, okay. No, but yeah, I think, you know, you look at it, they bought him for 40 mil. It took him 6 months to get going there, but then last season he was brilliant for them. So the fact that they're only valuing him at potentially 20 mil more than they paid for him when he wasn't nearly as good as he is now is them doing themselves a disservice, I think, you know what I mean? So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
I think it's similar to the Richarlison situation with Tottenham, where they need to sell, and we know how much money they need to bring in, so we offer them that amount. I think it's just that simple business. They can't really say no because they might get the big money for them. I don't think anyone else is willing to go out and pay the big money for them. So, you know, I'd like to see that done. I've said before, like, I want that winger who's going to drive at the box, and I want a defensive mid, and then possibly a fullback.
I think we need a centre half more than a right or left back, to be honest. I think obviously Matip going.
We've got Conor Bradley, haven't we? I think if Tsimikas is staying, which would be ideal, then yeah, you're right. But I think 3 centre halves. We don't know if there's any lads coming through, or there's rumours Slot's going to bring one with him. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. You know, it's been the first. Last season was an unexpected bit of a rebuild. You know, we lost players like Henderson and Fabinho that we weren't really expecting to lose. And it was a bit of a shocking rebuild. We've rebuilt it. We're still a little bit insecure in the defensive department, so just got to see who we can get. But I think that is the main thing for me. One outright attacking player. You know, we're sorted up front with Jota, Gakpo, Nunez. I think we've got Salah and Javier on the right. You've got Diaz who can switch wings. We've got a brilliant attack. We just need another little reinforcing the centre mid, and for me, another winger.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be interesting. I think people are obviously moaning already. We haven't signed anyone. It's like the window's been open about 2 weeks, like, and the Euros is on. People are obviously not going to do major business really until after the Euros and the Copa America is done. So there's nothing to worry about at the minute. There's obviously been talk of that Calafiori from Italy. who's apparently got a really
YouTube and made the Aquilani mistake, didn't I? He's a fucking whale, Peter.
Now, well, you know what? I think if it's being reported right, he's got a really, really low release clause in his contract. But he's coming off a great season for Bologna, and they got top 4 in Italy, so they're in the Champions League next season. He's looked good, barring the own goal he scored for Italy in the tournament. And he's young, you know what I mean? And if we can get him for around about 20 mil, it doesn't seem a lot of...
It's not a risk, is it?
It's not a risk anymore now. It's mad, isn't it? Like, we got Torres for just over 20 mil, and now we're talking about like 20 mil. It's not a risk. It's sound now.
For the minute.
It is. It's crazy.
That's the thing. That's how we do business. We try, again, like if we go for Gordon, it's because they're desperate. And if they weren't desperate and weren't having to sell, we wouldn't even entertain the idea. Because we might be able to get a really good player at a low price for his age. So I think, yeah, I've got to go out and see what we do. I just think it's, I haven't brought myself to look at the Arnie Slot content yet because I'm still not fully over Jürgen. I just want to digest the Euros and then get into excited mode. Only that I wanted to do this today because I was listening to one of our other podcasts. You talking to the lad about Ipswich, about the first game of the season, and it got me all excited for the new start. And I'm going to start watching the interviews and all the content that Liverpool have released. But one thing I've actually seen a clip of him saying is that the work's already begun. He started, the phone calls have begun, and the business is going on in the background. So I think there's a list there that Liverpool are chasing, and it won't be in the open, and that's how it should be. We don't want to be linked to every fucking player. We don't want Romano and all that shit. Like, Liverpool are about to sign him. Just fucking announce it like we did with Fabinho. Done deal. Yeah. Here's my shirt. Done. Thank you.
Be great, wouldn't it?
Be nice, yeah. But it's exciting. Don't get me wrong, I call it silly season, but you can't help but fucking get excited about it. We've already sang Anthony Gordon's name last season as well.
No, I used to get excited for it, and I think it because it is oversaturated now. I think, like you said, it's literally, that Somerville from Leeds was essentially signed 3 weeks ago, and now we're not getting them at all. And we're linked with Mbuemo, and we're linked with Eze, and we're linked with this, that, and the other. It's like, I can't keep up, so I'll just ignore it until, like, I see Paul Joyce or David Ornstein or someone reliable tweeting it, you know what I mean? It's like, I can't ask for it.
They do it, like, once it is confirmed, don't they? Like, this is definitely on now. Whereas, I think Ornstein, was it Ornstein? Did he mention Anthony Gordon saying it is a possibility?
I think so, yeah.
But yeah, you've got, like, it's interesting, it's fun, it's novelty, but when it becomes, like, a fixation where you can't relax and you can't settle down until your team's bought someone, I think you need to go to the doctor's life. Like, if we don't sign anyone, I'll go, fucking missed opportunity that. Let's support the lads going into the season. People are just like, I can't believe it. What are we doing? Oh, it's fucking mad, isn't it? Footy is mad. But I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the Euros. What's the late game tonight?
Spain, Georgia.
Yeah, Sam. So I'll be watching that. Be looking forward to it, and just see who we can sign in the meantime.
That's it. So look, like I said, we did plan on this just being a short one to just refresh everyone's memory of what we sound and look like, but it didn't quite work out like that, did it? So here we are, an hour and 20 minutes later. So we are going to wrap it up there.
That's a joke, that.
But that's what we do. We say we're going to do one thing and then we do the complete opposite.
This is content. We are sound.
So yeah, look, as Jay said there, the video and the audio is out of me talking with Matt from Talking Town about Ipswich and the opening game of the season. Really good talk, really sound lad. I hope Ipswich do well this season, except when we go to Portman Road and when they come to Anfield. I hope they fucking do very, very well. So yeah, head over to YouTube or wherever you get your podcast going, give that a listen. There will be more content like that throughout this season. Going to try and get as many of them type of episodes as possible this time around. Try and spice it up a bit, because as great as we are, it probably does get a bit boring for us just seeing our two faces every 2 weeks, every week rather. So you get a break from Jay at least, but not from me, sadly. Which is probably the worst of the two options. No, but as I say, that content, hope fingers crossed, all being well, you should see a lot more of that this season. So if you did like it, you'll like what's to come. But that does us for today. So Don't know when we're going to be back at the moment. When something big happens, it will probably be the one. Maybe after the Euros is finished, once that's died down a little bit, and we start getting some proper concrete Liverpool news and content through lads in pre-season and stuff like that. You'll probably see us a bit more regularly again. But until then, nice one for listening and watching. Appreciate it's been an hour and 20 minutes out of your life. Love yous all. And up the Reds.
Up Arnie Slots, Reds. Yes.